Don't see the live. There we go. We are live again. Archie, we're live once again.
That's
Hello,
it.
folks, friends, family, training partners, amigos. I'm Tom Owens. I'm here with MMA Fight Pass producer Archie Tovar. He's my
Uh,
guest. Today, guys, we're going to talk about some different things. I want to explain to you guys that I've already explained it and put it out there, but this is actually episode 1 of the Tom Owens Show. It's another podcast I'm going to be doing for MMA Fight Pass. I'm still working with MMA Fight Pass, always will be. Me and Archie will still be doing the Hammerfist podcast, amongst other things. And yeah, just like that, I want to explain the Tom Owens Show a little bit. You might think, hey, that's the host from Hammerfist podcast, isn't it? MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. Yes, it is. And but what I'm going to be doing with the Tom Owens Show, guys, is I'll still be doing MMA fighters, BJJ athletes, the MMA world, but I'm also hoping to talk with all other interesting walks of life. So people of all walks of life. I've already got a bunch lined up, guys. Different people, politicians, school teachers, just interesting people that have good things to talk about. So I'll basically be doing that. You can hit myself up or you can hit Archie up. And we're always looking for more guests for that, guys. But today on episode 1, I got my good friend here, one of my best friends, the guy who got me started with the podcast world. I got Archie Tovar here. How you doing, my brother?
hey, what's up, Tom? No, doing well. I'm just glad that we're spawning, right? Just moving and getting bigger and doing different things and really reaching out to different communities that are now heartfelt to ourselves, to yourself, right? I definitely have some other people saying, "Hey, I need to start a podcast about what they want, about what they feel in their heart, just like what you feel, what we all feel, right? We all have something. We all have our common goals, but then again, we also have our individual, aspirations, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you and me, we right from the start, me, you, Chris Ronquillo, James, we all share the same love. Our big love in our hearts and our mind is, of course, mixed martial arts, cage fighting, and a big thing in our life is jujitsu, guys. It's one of our big commons that me and Archie have with one another is our love, our passion, and that we train on the mats in jujitsu. Now, if it hadn't have been for the MMA world and jiu-jitsu, I don't know if I ever would have met you, Archie.
Well, I don't know either, Tom. Maybe at Costco or Walmart or something, something passing by, like, hey, who's that dude right there? But no, you know what? It was destiny, and just like we put ourselves in the right spot, we put ourselves in a healthy environment, and what's going to happen is you're going to meet other people that have the same passion as you and that healthy lifestyle, right? Of training, of punching other people, and doing arm bars to other people.
Exactly. Man, there's one thing I've found in common with other people that train, not just mixed martial arts or martial arts in general, but on the jiu-jitsu mat, in the jiu-jitsu world, just the mentality that people have, the camaraderie that you build on the mats, and the mentality that you build throughout, not just on the mats, but in life, at work, the way that you deal with people, the way you deal with problems, the way you deal with positive things. Jiu-jitsu really, really can build positivity in your life, guys. And you might, myself, Archie, everybody out there, we've all got trials that we go through in life. Things can be going good and going up, and then all of a sudden, boom, your health can hit you, a problem with a family member, maybe a problem at work. We all are going to go through these ups and downs in life, but you might be having the most stressful time in the world or in your life, and the great thing is you can go that night to class and get on the mat with your buddies, and you might go out there and sweat it out and train hard and really go at it, or you might just go in there and drill technique and free roll with a good buddy of yours, light. And I mean, right, Archie? Am I right about that? The feeling and the mentality that we get from jiu-jitsu? And just like that, the screen freezes up on us.
I know, right where you were talking, like at the most important piece of information, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. What do you think? Am I right about that mentality that we build from jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You know, as far as the mentality, it makes you a stronger person, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that start off in jiu-jitsu, green, we'll say, right, a common term used for starters. And you know, 5 years, 2 years later, or even weeks later, you know, people come up with some amazing stories on how it has helped them physically, mentally, spiritually, and instead of walking with their head down, now they're walking with their head up and you know, all strong and in a stance, ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. And a big thing I've noticed, I've stand out a little differently in my family because in my family, like many families, it runs in our bloodline, but we have, I'll say, a mental disability with like anger issues and the way that we go about taking things, whether it's an argument with a family member or something like that, something that's everybody's not agreeing on. And man, like when I was younger, I would be so quick to snap, and like me and my brothers would get in fist fights and arguments all the time. Not just my brothers, but other family members. And after all these years of training jujitsu and martial arts, I've seen to grow out of that. And it also helps me at work, man. I could be having a disagreement with a boss or a coworker, and I've found ways where even if I do make the mistake of an argument or say something wrong, I will always come back either that day or the following day or days to come, and I'll apologize and I'll give forgiveness and I'll ask for forgiveness, which is a huge part of life right there, right, Archie?
Yeah, and you know what, Tom, as you're saying, you know, you want to start and spawn off onto your own, you know, podcast show, the Tom Owens show, and you know, because there's a bunch of topics, experiences that you've gone through, personal or otherwise, like you're saying, and mentally or otherwise, like you're saying, you know, there's a lot of uh, people that need to hear about those stories that you can bring to the table in the Tom Owens show about your experiences. You know, man, you've been going through some health experiences, you know, with seizures. You know, that's a community within itself, right? And you know, I was saying that other people want to. I know somebody that's asking me to do a podcast and they want help because their issue is, or how can I put it? It's a parent, a dad. There's a lot of dads out there, right? Okay, here's a topic: single dads. There's a lot of dads out there that are doing the right thing, that really love their child, and for some reason they have to go to court to see their child because the significant other or the baby mama is just having issues and not wanting to have the dad to see their child. So there's a bunch of dads out there. I know a couple of dads that are in the MMA arena, uh, a black belt and you know, there's a few others out there that are single dads, and 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 God bless their souls, man. I see their pain, and it's a different kind of pain when you can't see your child, and you're having to go to court, and you just love that, you know, little guy or girl for, you know, like anything else. You know what I mean? So there's different topics out there that people want to talk about, and I respect you. You know your topics.
Yeah, and and that subject right there, I'll tell you what, I don't have children of my own except for I adopted me and my ex-wife, we adopted my brother's child after him and his lady went through some stuff, and he ended up, because of court, losing the child. And me and my ex-wife, we adopted him. And right after that, I found myself in a situation where I'm caught in between my wife when I go home and then in between my family when I go to them. And I didn't realize, guys, that I was in the middle. I was the middleman, and the stress was building and building and building and building. And in my life, I never really dealt with too much stress like that. And I did not realize what stress could do to a person, what it could do to this thing up in here. And just one day out of the blue, I woke up in the hospital after having a really bad seizure. And I'm like, a seizure? What are you talking about? I've never had seizures. I don't have epilepsy. And after studying and studying and doing research, I found out that, stress can do this to you. And stress brought on those seizures. And man, it's been 3 years now, and they've gotten way better. I almost don't have them anymore at all now, because I've learned ways to deal with my stress. And Archie, you and James and the rest of our guys have been a big part of it, man. You guys have gave me something to do on the outside, and I'm not just doing the same old thing, stressing, bro. And I really want to thank you, and God bless you, man, for getting me involved in this podcast world. And I just can't say, man, the MMA Fight Pass, Hammerfist podcast, and now I built up the guts to get my own podcast going. I'm calling it the Tom Owens Show for now. but I'm not sure if that name's going to hold or if there's a copyright. I've looked and haven't found one, but maybe it might change. You never know. But yes, Archie, I thank you and Chris big time for getting me involved in this, man.
No, you know what, Tom? I mean, like I said, it was destiny. We put ourselves in the right place around the right people. This is the stuff we love. So we were out there in the MMA world, and we bumped shoulders, and through Chris Ronquillo actually, and Chris Ronquillo is an amazing guy. You know, he too, God bless his soul. You know, he has some health conditions, and you know, prayers to Chris. You know, stay strong and keep strong. You know, but Chris is one strong guy. I mean, he's still out there hustling and doing what he needs to do. And James, yeah, absolutely, James. You know what? This is all therapy for us, Tom. We've been there with you, seeing you go through your seizure moments, you know, and not senior moments, but seizure moments. Um, and you know, gosh, it's an experience for all of us, and I know that this is therapy for all of us. You know, being able to go to the events, host events, run events, get it behind the mic for yourself. You know, when you're out there interviewing people, uh, it's amazing.
Dude, it is. It's a trip, man. This life is a trip. And, you know, the seizure moments, what we're doing the show, we'll talk about it a little bit. You know what I mean? The seizure, you know, a lot of times I'll go to a doctor, a neurologist, and the nurse will come in. Just the other day, I was in the doctor office, and the nurse came in and she was like, "You mind if I ask you a couple questions? My 3-year-old has seizures about every day." And I'm like, man, you know, I think my deal's bad. This here's a mom right here telling me that her 3-year-old child has these crazy seizures every day, and it gives me a different perspective. But you know, I hope if anything, Archie, through this, that you know, I'm learning from these seizures and my health. I'm hoping maybe something that we say or something that we do might help another person throughout life somewhere, somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, heck yeah. And you know, uh, how that happens is with people like you, like Cody's sons, coaches that are out there, right? Cody is an amazing guy. He's been in this game helping people, and that's what you're talking about, right? And that's what we do. We love to coach and help people, and then from there have them test their skills and grow as people, because as you test those skills that you're getting trained by and learning from Cody, learning from you, Tom, and then the growth just starts there in the gym. When you leave the gym to go compete, there's more growth. I mean, so you never stop growing. You know, it's amazing for people like you, Cody, all of us that are in the industry. You know, that are true to the industry, that want to help people out, right? Yeah,
Yes. And Cody,
yeah, go ahead.
speaking of Cody, he's Cody's son just tuned in and he said hello. Cody, man, it's an honor to be working with you, bro. And I like seeing Cody not only as a fighter and a competitor, but also as a coach. He's an outstanding coach, and when I watch him in the corner of his guys when they're fighting and stuff, and I see how his team, how they're holding himself, he's doing his thing and he's doing a good job at it. And now he's working with us as well. Now, while we're here, you know, this is episode 1. It's kind of embarrassing for me to talk about with a lot of people, but like I said, I hope that mistakes in my life and when I can overcome them, I hope I can help other people in theirs. But when I started having the seizures, I started really smoking a lot of marijuana because I thought marijuana, I had grown up, you know, with people telling me how good marijuana was for epilepsy and, you know, for seizures. And I had that in my mind that it was actually good for that. And you know what? The bottom line and the truth is, you know, once I went to a neurologist, and that was the first question that they asked me. You know, I've been to about 5 different neurologists. I've been up to Stanford, and every one that I've been to, the first question that they would ask me is, "Do you smoke weed?" And I'd be honest with them, you know what I mean? And I would tell them, "Yeah, I smoke marijuana, but isn't it good for it?" And I had one really smart, one of the top neurologists in California, tell me, he goes, "No," says that's one of the biggest misconceptions that there are. So around that time, I go, you know what? I'm still having these seizures. I'm gonna stop smoking the weed. You know, I had been smoking for years, man, 20 plus years, from growing up in a neighborhood where everybody grew it or sold it. And I don't think I had, you know, in 20 years had ever even went a week without smoking. So I'm happy to say today, guys, today is actually 171 days marijuana free. That may not seem like a lot to you guys, 171 days.
Congratulations.
Hey, to me, man, tremendous accomplishment. I'm lucky I have people like you, Archie, and I have my sister, and I have other people that stay in touch with me every day. And, you know, I'm just keeping going and going, but I'm almost to a half a year clean, 100, you know, 6 months clean. I'm really proud of it, man. So I got to let it out there. But when I stopped smoking the marijuana, Archie, I found myself going to other things. You know what I mean? I started drinking more. I started drinking more alcohol, bro. And I've never been a big drinker, Archie. And
How did that work out?
Yeah, man, I just found myself drinking more. So after talking with good friends, and my sister taught me into it, I'm now going to a place here in Visalia. It's called the Alano Club. It's embarrassing to say, but you know what? I'm not going to be embarrassed about the stuff. I'm looking to grow beyond it. But I'm going to these meetings at the Alano Club. It's AA and NA. And you know what? I've been there for about a week now. And now today is my 12th day with no alcohol. So I'm 171, no pot. 12th day, nothing. So my mind, Archie, you told me it would too, man. And my mind, brother, my mind is getting clearer and clearer every day. And I'm starting to want to do more things. I'm wanting to get back on the mat more. I'm wanting to do more of these podcasts. I'm just wanting to grow, Archie. What do you think about all that?
Man, you know, we all go through our times where we go through extracurricular activities. Maybe they choose some kind of smoke, maybe they choose some kind of drink or liquor or coffee or whatever to kind of alter the mood, right? But I think that what you're doing is very is amazing, right? I mean, not everybody can say that. I can't say that, right? You know, I have myself a drink here and there or whatnot, but you know, but we do our best, right? We do our best, but the best is what you're doing, man, and that's where things really get cleared up. And you know, it's just like I guess I'll compare to like fasting, right? For myself, I mean, there are times where I fast and I stay clear of everything for a month or 2 months, and then that's where the clarity comes in. Like, oh my God, you know, there's another world out there besides the world of being clogged up by either if you smoke or either if you drink or either whatever, right? But if you fast from those bad habits for about a month or 2 or 3 months, then that can turn around to a good habit. But you know what? The time to do that is when you have a goal, right? So when I happen to do that, okay, is when I compete like at IBJJF or Masters World or IBJJ No Q World. So when I compete for a big tournament, and that's when I can turn the switch and you know, okay, for a month or 2 months, and it feels good, man, to turn that switch. And if you can turn that switch, but keep it like you're keeping it, you know, that's a different thing. You know, congratulations.
Props to you too, man. I know you do these fast, Archie. And are you talking about like a food fast as well?
Well, so there's times for that, but then I was just comparing it to that when you could just fast from the bad stuff. You know what I mean? From the drinking or the smoking or whatever, right?
Right.
That was a comparable.
Awesome, man. It's awesome. Well, guys, that's enough talking about myself here and Arch. Guys, we got a ton of stuff.
This is the Tom Owens show, though.
Oh, yeah. It is a Tom Owens show, and there's going to be plenty of time for that. I have some awesome guests coming up, guys. I got a badass school teacher. She's going to come on to the show, and we're going to talk about, now you might say, a school teacher. What? Nah, man. Hey, this school teacher's badass. Her mentality is up there. And we're going to talk about school of today versus school when we were kids. And she's been teaching for like 10, 15 years. And what she saw in the beginning to what it is nowadays, it's a whole different thing. I've got some political guys coming on, guys. I got ex-military. I've got managers from different workplaces. Just a whole bunch of people. Some people, ex-gangsters that have switched their life around and became something different. So it's going to be cool. There's going to be a lot of good stuff to talk about. I've also got some old guests that we've had on Hammerfist podcast that are going to be joining, and we'll be getting more stories from these guys. Kong Lee. We might have Randy Couture on again. Archie. Me and Archie are going to always be talking. I got Chris Lieben, an OG from the UFC, guys. A lot of you guys may not even know who Chris Lieben is, but look him up. Chris Lieben is an OG from the UFC. We're good chance to have him coming on. Archie, Tony Robbins.
What? like the Tony Robbins, like
Yeah.
Tony Robbins.
Hey, the Tony Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there's a good chance he's going to be coming on. Be a bunch of different people. But what I wanted to talk about with you today, Archie, our company that you got started, MMA Fight Pass, here locally in the Central Valley, man, we got a lot of stuff coming up in this near future. And yeah, we got a lot of things coming up. Muay Thai kickboxing tournaments, grappling tournaments, MMA tournaments, MMA fight seminars, a lot of things coming up. Archie, I want to break down. I want you to also break down what's the first thing we got coming up, and let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think one of the first things, what the date today, the 12th, there's the 23rd, is 559 fights. And let me check that out.
Yeah, we got 559 fights with Jeremy Luchal, the promoter.
Here.
Yep, we got him coming up. That's on April 23rd, and that's right here in Visalia at the Visalia Convention Center. And man, I've got the main event.
So there it is, Tom. Actually,
yes, I actually just last night talked.
So for the, go ahead.
Well, last night I just talked to the guy who's fighting in the main event. We got David Mariscal versus a kid named Shane Christie. I just talked to him last night. I'm going to have him on the show. We'll probably do that on the Hammerfist podcast. And he's coming on the show here in the next few days. That card right there is stacked. There it is right there. Those two gentlemen right there, the guy on the right of the screen is Shane Christie. I just talked to him. David Mariscal is actually an old training partner of mine from Team KO. Now he trains with Trifecta Jiu-Jitsu gym right here in Visalia. Another awesome gym. And man, that card is going to be good. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of their guys before this fight. It's about 2 weeks away. And me and Archie will probably be in there doing interviews. If not Archie, it'll be me and James Gilliland. And we'll be, we're you know, even though we have our own show going, guys, a lot of promoters trip because they see another guy like starting a promotion and doing his own show, and they think it's like a competition, but that's not our mentality, guys. That's not the mentality. Of course, we want our show to grow, and I mean, we want to get it as good as we can get it, man. But we're still here, and we're about locals and local competitors, coaches, and gyms. I mean, me, Archie, and James, and the other boys, we want to help locals get to that next level, right, Arch?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about all the shows, not just one show. MMA Fight Pass started for all the shows, and will continue as that, even though they're expanding to different horizons. But your bottom line, I mean, Tom, I mean, you know, talking about expanding, I mean, God, look at what it says at the bottom of the Tom Owens show. You know, like about 2 years ago, we would have never thought that, maybe, but you know, now it came to fruition, right? So now, you know, you are able to talk about the show, other shows on your show, and we can, and what's what we do too. James Gilliland on Fridays, every Friday, him and God bless her soul, Kaden Grigoriev, they talk to fighters from 559 Fights, from Valley Fight Series, from MMA Fight Pass, you know, so that's part of the MMA Fight Pass crew, and it's just, you know, there's no, it's a community, right? It's just not about me only, right? It's about for everybody.
Yeah, man, and dude, you just said, man, a year ago, what I've been thinking about this, I would have never had the courage to think about it. You know what I mean? I never would have saw myself doing this, but after starting with MMA Fight Pass and the Hammerfist podcast, and then I go and see James and Caitlin doing their own show every week, I go, you know what, man, I might be able to get something going here. And to be honest, guys, you know, a lot of doctors after these seizures, they tell me, you know what, you need to go see a weekly psychologist and talk with somebody, which is a good idea. You know what I mean? And I'll probably still do that. But when we do these podcasts, Archie, and when I get to talk with other people, it's a big load off the shoulders, man. It's a big stress reliever. And man, it's been a blessing any way that we look at it. Now, 559 Fights, that's about 2 weeks away, I believe. But Archie, we have a show coming up as well, I believe. Is it the kickboxing tournament? Is that the first one coming up?
Yeah, so on May 20th, there at the bottom of the screen, as you see, MMA Fight Pass. And just take it from the top, Tom.
Okay.
So the next show is this weekend. JR Entertainment. Those guys from amazing people from the Modesto area. JR and his partner. Uh, they do a show out there. So that's this weekend in Modesto. And then you got a company called True Promotions. They're going to be in Anaheim the same weekend that 559 Fights is going to be having an event. There'll be one in Anaheim. But these are amateur events, right? And then,
Yes.
well, this is interesting. So is April 23rd on a Saturday? Probably is, right? So then on a Sunday, April 24th in Los Angeles at the Avalon nightclub, there's going to be an event. That's kind of cool on a Sunday. And then Bay Area Combat, that is in Santa Cruz. That's our buddy. Um he's our buddy, and I forgot his name. Okay,
Which one?
and then 5150 Entertainment after that, and then MMA Fight Pass. So MMA Fight Pass is going to have an event May 20th, and that is for cage fighting, right? Um, and then let me show you a flyer that we have uh, set up for these events. So it's kind of
Yes,
cool.
I'm so excited for this one, man. This weekend, that weekend we are talking about right here.
Yeah, so we have like I was saying, on May 20, we have the MMA fights. On May 21, we have the Muay Thai fights. But in this one, it's going to be a championship super show, right? Meaning we're going to have 4 championship belts awarded that day. One for the female division, one for the youth division, and 2 for the adult division. So that weekend, I'm not sure if it's ever been done, where we have 2 shows back to back, and both of these shows being uh, in the same location. So it's really, really, really cool to be a part of this. So we just kind of fell into that situation, Tom, to where we were asked, hey, can you have the show for Muay Thai May 21? We were asked by Ryan at AKF. I said, well, wait a minute, we got our MMA show May 20th. And I said,
Look
hey,
at
well,
that.
we just said, let's just make that the Bakersfield first ever amateur back-to-back combat sporting event. How's that?
That is beautiful, man. I saw that, dude. I love that, guys. That weekend, Archie, we might be doing something that I haven't seen. It's definitely something I haven't seen done before. I'm
What
not
do you
even
mean?
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's been done before yet. But the cage fight on one day, and then the next day we got that Muay Thai kickboxing event going. That, guys, is a weekend you don't want to miss. Archie, say a person. I'm getting all kinds of people hitting me up for tickets for the MMA. And
Yeah.
then people also hit me up for the Muay Thai. Is there going to be some type of a collaboration on the tickets, or maybe some type of a deal people can get if they want to hit both shows?
Uh, you know, they can't be. Right now the tickets are sold separately for each event, right? And man, heck yeah, hit us up. Hit Tom up, hit me up, and absolutely, Tom. Let's just definitely give that opportunity to if somebody wants to buy tickets for both events. There has to be a discount, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. The good thing I love about you, man, and that I keep working with you is because you're willing to do this type of thing. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
not everybody has the money to afford all these events and stuff, but we're always down to make some type of a deal happen. But anyways,
yeah.
dude, the MMA Fight Pass, this is what numbers show are
The cage
4.
show, the fight,
Yes, volume
number
3,
3. Yeah, yeah, volume
which is
3.
volume 3, guys, and we are in the same location at Elite Fitness in Bakersfield, California, right, Arch?
That is correct. Absolutely. Both shows back to back are going to be in the same location um, at Elite Fitness Center. God bless his soul, Eric, at Elite Fitness Center. He's like an amazing guy, really working with us. And Tom, this is our Cage Fight Volume 3. You're so right. We are still working on our Volume 4 poster. It was kind of released today to myself, for the designer, and I showed it to a couple of key people. But that show for Volume 4, Tom, Cage Fight. We're getting that poster finalized. But we could say, Tom, that MMA Fight Pass is going to present uh, uh, Cage Fights Volume 4 in Farmersville. Woo!
Oh man,
Uh,
guys, you know,
June 25th. June 25th.
yeah, set your calendar dates for that day, guys, because right here locally in Central California, right here in the Central Valley, Farmersville, Farmas. That's guys,
Yeah.
you know what, Archie? I'm stoked because Team KO, the Team KO Training Center, that's where I teach jujitsu to children right there, man. I got a kids program that I do right there. Danny Valdivinos and his brother Johnny, they are
Right.
wonderful.
Right.
They're wonderful people, man. They've been around the fight game since I first started when I was, 28 years old when I first fought. I'm 47 now. That tells you how long they've been around. And awesome people. They help kids out for free, in fact. And I teach my jiu-jitsu program to children for free. And a lot of them are people that they couldn't afford it even if they wanted to. And we leave no kids behind. We want to get kids off the street. We don't want them doing drugs. We don't want them in gangs, and we want to get them on the mats and give them something positive, Archie.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And you know that Farmersville show that uh, Cage Fights Volume 4, June 25th, is going to be amazing because it's such a give back moment also for us. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening, and we'll kind of reveal some of that later. We'll have Danny on the show. As soon as our poster comes out in about a day or so, we finalize it. We're going to be having banners, posters in Farmersville for the show. Danny will have tickets available real soon. So we're really pumped up for that. Tom Owens, you're going to be helping us out, hopefully on some matchmaking, contacting some gyms out there, yeah? So
Oh
anybody
yeah,
that wants to get on that card, anybody wants to get the Central Valley Fight card, Cage Fights Volume 4 in Farmersville, contact Danny, contact Tom Owens, contact James Gilliland, Xavier Ortega, John Carlton. Woo.
Oh, Johnny Carlton. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Johnny boy.
show in Farmersville, man. I'm stoked for that. It's going to be awesome. Guys, we're always, you know what I mean? If we're always looking for other people to represent. And man, Farmersville, guys, I'll tell you what, Farmersville, a lot of cool people, cool families, really game fighters. But I'll tell you one thing I love about Farmersville is the Mexicano food, Archie. La
Oh, man.
comida mexicano.
Yeah, delicious with the tortillas and the salsa.
They got some great food too, man. It's going to be great. So we got those events coming up. That's a lot of action coming up quick. Archie, the cool thing, man, is we're talking about our events and other things that are coming up. But hey, since COVID has kind of slowed down and died down, the fight scene and the jiu-jitsu scene and man, combat scenes, they are back on the uprise, right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we were just looking at, as a matter of fact, let's go back to that screen because we want to also talk about and look at the State Athletic Commission website to see what pro fights are coming up. You know what I mean?
I do.
That's some good stuff right there.
Oh man.
All right, here we go. So this one we just saw earlier. This is the amateur arena, right? We got this weekend. We got 559. We got MMA Fight Pass coming up. 559 fights again. They're like the big dogs. Valley Fight Series. Let's give them a shout out real quick in the amateur arena.
Shout
out to Valley Fight Series. They're part of the Central Valley crew. They're gonna have an event in Wheatley, May 28th. All right.
All kinds of action, man. It's awesome, dude. If you're into the fight game, guys, and jiu-jitsu game, just all you got to do is get online and check it out.
Now, check it out, Tom. Hold on. Yeah. Check it out. Check it out.
Rules. Hey, another thing I gotta talk about on this show, guys, is another one of our locals. This kid, man, he's not even my student or training partner, but he is one of Archie's training partners. Now, not this last weekend, but 2 weekends ago. His name is Josh Cisneros, guys. He's a competitor out of Elite Team Visalia. Josh Cisneros, I actually did meet him when I had my school years back. when he was just a young child, a very young child. I taught his older brother, and I met Josh as a young age. And then I ended up closing my school down, but he did not close his jiu-jitsu training down. He went into training with Tom Knox, an elite team here in Visalia, and man, they turned that kid into one heck of a stud. The whole family of brothers, they're all studs, but Josh Cisneros has done something that many people only wish they could do. Now, I got to tell you that Josh Cisneros, he just competed at the trials for the ADCC, guys, of grappling. A lot of you guys know what that means, but what it stands for, ADCC, is Abu Dhabi Combat Club. Now, it's a huge grappling tournament, right, Archie? It's a grappling tournament that happens every year. It's so big, you've got to go through a trial to even get invited into it. Normally, you only get in there if you win the whole bracket, but Josh did so well 2 weekends ago that he's going to be most likely in the actual tournament. Now, Archie, did you see any of those matches or highlights?
I did, Tom. I'm actually queuing them up right now.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah. Give me a second here. But I did, Tom. Those, I mean, that stretch,
yeah. Hey, the stretch, man. It's a banana splits is what I call it, but it's something special. He hits it from all different angles, and it's like getting your legs and just cranking them apart, but there's all types of different ways to do it. It's like a guy grabbing your legs and breaking it like a wishbone and making you go into the splits. And if you're not flexible, you better be tapping, man, because you will be flexible afterwards.
But they gave it a name.
Go for it, Archie.
Well, what I was going to say is that particular move is a combination of a wrestling move where you're leg riding, right? You stick the legs in and then do some vine leg rides. And as you're riding in, the wrestler is real comfortable because they got the hook. You know, in the jiu-jitsu world, people know it as the hooks, right? So you got the hooks in, but then in the wrestling world, we call it you vine in, you stick both legs in, and you were so comfortable there. Josh was just so comfortable there that then there's another name to it, was called the spladle. So then from there, you could actually split the legs, and that being the spladle. Give me a second, Tom. We're actually ready to show that. We're ready to show that.
I was very impressed. Check it out.
Check it out.
Now, yeah, there's some pictures of it. Now, guys, if you want to see
this is the video right here. Well, check it out, Tom. That's the picture.
Okay, play that bad boy.
Here we go. Well, these are just a compilation, but let's just check it out.
Did you see how beautiful that takedown was? How slick and fast it was?
Yeah, I think, yeah. See how he has his legs in, like I was saying, and boom, ouch.
Oh, goodness.
He was just so comfortable there.
That was brutal, bro.
Look at that shit. He was saying, I heard in an interview, not heard, but I read actually in an interview that he was saying that he heard the leg tear. When he did that, he felt when he was stretching it, he goes, it just happened so fast, but I heard the leg tear. I was like, fuck.
I believe it. And Josh is a cool guy. As soon as you tap, you see how quick he let go.
Yeah.
Do not turn your back on Josh Cisneros.
Oh shit! Same move, same guy. No, same move, different
guy. He did it a couple times that day, I believe.
Man, look at that! Look, boom, hooks in, boom. Okay, we got a little delay here on the video.
It's all good, man. You know, I talked to his dad, David Jocelyn Cisneros, just the other day. I talked with him, and we're going to have him as a guest on the show. And he's going to be an awesome guest, Archie. I can't wait to have him as a guest.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man, David. Yeah, heck yeah. Oh, man, David. Oh, my God. That guy's an encyclopedia. David's an amazing guy. He knows so much about the mental aspect of, obviously, right? Look at his kids. The mental aspect of the game. He has helped train some monsters in Selma. He's been training monsters for a long time. Oh, David Cisneros. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Check that.
The
Take that
cool
out.
thing about
Oh,
him, like you just said, he's an encyclopedia, but he's kind enough to come onto the show. And we're going to talk about not just Josh, but the other sons too, because all of his sons have become champions in some art or another. It's going to be good, guys. It's going to be really good. Before I stop talking about Josh, now, even though me and you, Archie, we know Josh mainly, he got most of his skill and talent from Elite Team Visalia. But for this tournament, see, Josh moved to he moved
Arizona, I
to
believe.
Mesa. He's living in Mesa, Arizona right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's training right now. He's representing Ari's East Mesa BJJ. That's where
Oh,
he's
okay.
yeah, that's where he's
Okay.
training. He's actually teaching jiu-jitsu over there too. So if you guys train in that area, you want to get some good rolling and some good technique, go to Ari's East Mesa BJJ. He's right there. And like I said, he's a major representative of Elite Team Visalia. And man, he put him on the map. Now his let me tell you about his day. So he had 8 matches altogether. Okay. So he had
Damn.
7 wins and only 1 loss. And that was out of 250 competitors, guys. Out of 250 competitors, he made it to second place. Now, he had 7 wins, only 1 loss, 5 wins by submission, man. 5 wins by submission. So, hey, Josh, if you ever get to see this, or your dad, a lot of props to you. I'm proud of you. Archie's proud of you. Your whole team from Elite, all this Central Valley, we're all proud of you. And, man, I hope to see you in that when that main day comes at the ADCC. And I can't wait to see what happens, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. You remember this joke here? Hold on, Tom. Give me a name. Give me a name.
Which one?
Uh,
I'll tell you, the one I remember was the teepee choke at Fight to Win.
that's the one.
This is
Fight to
it right
win,
here.
chicken.
Watch this. The
Watch
guy goes
this.
for double. The guy goes for a double underpass. I think this is just him breaking it down.
Yeah, no, for sure. With his brother. That's his brother, Jacob.
That's his brother. Do you have the live footage of that choke?
We can look for it, but yeah, no, let's check this out. Let's him demonstrate it.
So it's when a guy does double unders, he's going to do a double underhook pass.
And his thumbs go in, yeah?
His thumbs go in the collars. And then he does a leg cross squeeze over his wrist. And it's so tight, it just put the guy to sleep. When I was there at that tournament live, the guy, I didn't even, out of all the time I've been doing jiu-jitsu, Archie, I'll be honest, I had never seen that done like that. And he put the guy to sleep, choked the guy out. Within a second or two, the guy was out.
You know the beauty about Josh is he comes up with like first time moves that people like maybe not have, maybe they've existed, but he freaking did them in competition.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
There it goes. Okay. Yeah, so they didn't show the move, but I can probably find it.
If you find it, that's awesome. Man, right here in Visalia, California, from the time I started jiu-jitsu in my garage,
Hey Tom.
now,
Hey Tom, I'm not sure your audio kind of all of a sudden changed. Is it me or is it the audio?
I see you a little bit kind of fuzzy. It might be. I'm not going to take
Uh-oh.
Guys, hey, when I do podcasts from this location I'm living at right now, from this little soiree right here, hey, man, my internet goes off and on here, guys. And it's going to happen from time to time. But if you like our show, just hang in there. We'll get it back in there. Soon, though, I'm going to have my own spot, a different spot that is, and with a different podcast studio. Also, Archie's got a new podcast studio right now in Selma, and we're going to start having in the house podcast again, where we get to bring the guests back inside. Here it is. Okay. Can you blow that up?
Yeah, let's rewind that.
Play that again. So watch how quick, after he puts the choke on, how quick this guy goes out. And keep that blown up if you can, brother.
Yeah. With that view? Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Look at that crossing.
That guy had no idea what was going on.
Oh shit!
Look at that. That was like a fresh dose of NyQuil.
Oh, you know what? They might have showed it earlier. I missed it because now
It's
he's
all
gonna
good.
show. Yeah. Well, let's see that NyQuil one more time. The
Yes.
first dose.
The guy goes for a double underpass, like a lot of us know.
He's doing the double triangle.
Can you hear the audio?
He's choking. He's choking him. He's out. He's out.
He's out. He's out.
It's awesome. That
Good
kid is
stuff,
something
huh?
else. He's really something else. I see a bright future for him. He's already, what he's doing now, man, is already bright enough. But I can only imagine what this kid, whatever he puts his mind into and his body into, if he chooses to go into wrestling, MMA, whatever it is, he's going to be a threat to anybody who gets on those mats with him.
Yeah, heck yeah. Hey Tom, so check this out. We got some pro shows coming up.
Yeah. What website is that, Archie, so people can get on there and check it out later? California State.
Yeah, just Google California State Athletic Commission, and it'll come out, and it's really cool. Actually, let me back up one screen. Right here, boom, two screens, boom. These right here. dca.ca.gov./ So yeah, this is the governing body of for those of you guys out there, the governing body for professional California sports, professional sanctioned, meaning that it's overseen by some legit people, by lawyers, doctors, and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So here I'm going to click on the events tab, and because my internet's blazing fast, it's going to come up immediately. Check it out.
Bam.
See how fast it is? Look at that. But it's coming up. So.
Muy rápido.
Oh, you know what? I had that screen open already, but I hit the backspace. So there we go. So now let's kind of open up that a little bit more. This way. So now a little bit more. A little bit more. Almost like that. Okay, so what do we got? Stuff that stands out, right? So we have some promotions. 360 boxing, MMA. So Commerce Casino MMA, LFA. LFA is going to be in town in LA. LFA is going to be in Los Angeles, March 24th, right here. Okay, and then Dragon House MMA. We got some boxing, WFC boxing. Boxing, a lot of boxing going on, Tom. And then going down to the next one.
Those are all good shows you just mentioned right there.
Heck yeah. And let's going back down to the boxing. Bellator is coming April 15th. There you go. Bellator is to the SAP Center, April 15th.
Bellator, man, they're doing a great job. They're growing rapidly. And Bellator right now has some of the best fighters in the world. I don't care what anybody says about UFC or anywhere else. Bellator is really doing a great job, and they're bringing in some of the best fighters that have been around. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up.
So going down the list, Golden Boy Promotions, they're going to be Indio, California. Muay Thai kickboxing. Oh, who's this? What is this? So a lady by the name of Trisha, that is she's a CSAC contact now. So Fighters Rep LLC, they're the ones that are hosting a kickboxing Muay Thai show. This has to be professional. You know what I mean? Let's do a quick Google, and then we'll go back. Oh no. Right click, paste in. Okay, that's all right. So let's keep going. MMA. Firepower Promotions. There's a Hard Rock Hotel. Oh, this is Team Alpha Male. Yeah, Team Alpha Male, Tom.
I saw
Uriah
that.
Uriah Faber. They're hosting some events here in Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and then and
That's
in
cool, man. You guys know Uriah Faber. He's an ex-UFC champion. He's been around the block, and man, that's hey, he knows what he's doing. That's great that they got their own promotion going on now, guys.
so they're gonna have another event May 28th. Uriah Faber. So they got a couple events, and you know what? Those are sold out. Great.
Already sold out, just like that. Quick.
Bro. And then you get some more Dragon House MMA in May 28th. Man, there's a lot of shows every month. A lot of shows within the month.
A
Then
lot of stuff.
we got some more Muay Thai kickboxing, Triumph Combat Sports. The Muay Thai kickboxing is coming up, professional, full contact. That's cool.
If you
Boxing,
guys want to see this stuff again, you can get on that website right there. You can always just rewind our video a little bit if you want. If you want to get the name, and you can get on there and check it out. You might be in the area of one of these places that these events are going down.
Yeah. Triumph. Triumphant Combat Sports. Triumphant.
Hey, Archie.
There you go, Tom. Yes, sir.
Just like
So this
that. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this last UFC that took place the other day.
UFC. So, okay, so this company here, real quick, Triumphant. This company, Tom, is this company here, Triumphant Combat Sports. These guys are hosting the Muay Thai fights, and so it's kind of cool to see their website. So this is a promotion here that is hosting fights, and look at other, different events. Rosarito, Mexico, easy now. Easy, yeah. Mexico, another one in Mexico. These guys have a Mexico connection. Okay, so now let's look at you were saying, Tom? Sorry, Mike, so bad.
Hey, no, I'm glad you showed that, guys. Hey, you know what? We're doing what we do, Archie, and that's we're giving props and promotion, and we're promoting all the shows that are going on in the fight world.
Yeah. So what was it? The search you want me to look at or something?
You don't even have to look it up to search unless you want to. But we both were watching this past weekend the UFC that went down.
Oh, yeah, right here. Bam.
Yes.
There it is. So
now,
this
guys,
particular.
It was a pay-per-view, so I'm sure a lot of people, they see the price of a pay-per-view and they would hold on to that money in the wallet, or maybe you just can't afford it. But man, you know what? I saw the card for this, and I just forked out the money and got it. Normally, there's different websites you can get to, and then you're always dealing with some kind of, something. It's kind of hard to keep it going. Anyhow, I just bought the pay-per-view this weekend. I wanted to see that fight live, and the main fight I wanted to see was that main event. Archie with
Alexander, the Korean Zombie.
yeah, I don't want to murder these guys' last names, Archie.
Alexander Volkanovski.
Yes.
And then the Korean Zombie.
What'd you think of that fight? Now, man, I like Korean Zombie a lot, and I've watched almost all of his fights. And some people say, you know what, he might just be out of his prime, or maybe his better days have passed. But what I saw right from the weigh-in up into the entrance into the ring, and then even when the fight started, Archie, he was doing a lot of smiling at the guy and a lot of laughing in his face, keeping his hands down, calling the guy in. And whenever I've seen that, guys, in fighting, it normally doesn't go good for the guy. What do you think about that, Archie?
Yeah, no, I did definitely see the fight. Not too much pre-fight, but the fight, oh my gosh, he was just so outmatched. I mean, I'm not sure what the heck kind of, when you get outmatched, it's because you get punched, but then the outmatch means that you look tired, and obviously when you're getting beat up, you slow down, right? Well, he slowed down kind of quickly, is what I'm saying. So he was outmatched.
He was definitely outmatched. Volkanovski's power is no joke. The guy before he came into MMA, he he was a rugby player, I believe, and he did hockey and different things, but he weighed 210 pounds back in the day, a stout 210 pounds stacked.
Yeah.
And now, what weight was that? Was that 170, Arch?
With Zombie, it was
Yeah.
featherweight. What's featherweight? Featherweight.
Lighter.
Yeah, oh yeah, lighter. We're looking at about 45 pounds, maybe 145.
I think you're right. Anyway, the guy at his size is super, super powerful, and you do not want to get hit by that guy, not just once, but you don't want to get hit multiple times, and that's what happened in that fight. Now,
yeah,
there's other fights. The other fight I wanted to talk about was the fight. I don't want to murder the guy's name, but Gilbert Burns from Brazil fought Chimaev. Is that how you pronounce it? How do you pronounce his whole name?
Hamzat. I think it's the K is silent. I've been listening to the way they've been pronouncing it, and I think it's called Hamzat Chimaev.
Now, Chimaev, both of these guys are outstanding fighters, and they're both really talented. They're both very game. But Chimaev, man, he's a guy that you're going to want to keep your eyes on. He's definitely an up-and-comer, and he reminds me a lot of Khabib plus more attributes into his fighting game. And both of those guys put it on the line big time. Me and my stepdad were here. My stepdad Dave, we were here, and we like to watch these fights together. And man, we just watched that fight. We admired it, and oh man, such a good fight. Then you also have the co-main event with Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah.
And he fought Peter Yan. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that fight, Arch?
Well, you know, I think Sterling deserved the W because of a variety of reasons. You know, when Sterling was in control, he was in control, and Peter Yan had no answer. Peter Yan never put Sterling in any of those dangerous situations. Yeah, granted, he might have outpointed him in a couple of rounds, and so Sterling won a couple of rounds. But then Sterling, you know, the first round could have gone either way, and I think that's where the judges kind of maybe scored it in the first round, and then also giving the advantage to Sterling for being the aggressor and almost putting Yan in dangerous positions, like real dangerous positions.
Yes, it was good, man. Really good. Anyhow, much props to the UFC for that. I got to give them props. Those are the main three fights that I had tuned in for that night, Archie. And yeah, it was really something. Anyway, Archie, we're getting right about to that time where I got to shut this bad boy down, my brother. And
man. What an amazing moment, man.
We went longer than we normally would, guys, but this was episode 1 of the Tom Owens Show. I wanted to get the right guest on for the first episode, and I did right here with this guy. I had I had chances to get a bunch of different people on, and I go, you know what? It'd be cool if I could get this guy on, Archie Tovar, that got me into the podcasting world, and we'll talk and we'll discuss things that are coming up. Anyway, Archie, I want to just give you props and loves, and thanks again for getting me into this stuff. Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Everybody out there, you can go to my Facebook page, Tom Owens, and if you go to the pages, you can go to the Tom Owens Show. And not only will you see my podcast, but you'll see a lot of the podcasts from history that we have with the Hammerfist fight podcast and MMA fight podcast. You can see some of those older shows that we got going right there. Cody's Sons, all you fans out there, my friends, my family, everybody that helps us out. I love you guys. I give props to our Lord and Savior above. And man, just anybody out there that tunes in and can share this and pass it on, I appreciate it. Archie, you have a good night, my brother. I'll be talking to Archie soon. We have another Hammerfist podcast coming up real soon with some more guests. And just like that, Archie, anything else you would like to pass on?
No, just like that. That hour passes quickly when you're having fun and when you enjoy what you're doing, and when you're true to the game.
That's it. All right. My friends and family, all you guys out there, you guys all have a good night. Archie, I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
All right, Tom, talk to you over the wire.